Okay, good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the McIntosh County Board of Education's work session for October 2nd, 2023. If you would please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Our Father God, we thank you for another day. We thank you for your many, many blessings. We continue to ask your blessings upon our school system. Continue to bless our students that they will continue to excel, and continue to bless our staff that they'll continue to do great things. These blessings we ask in your Son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 3 is we have a presentation from Mr. Ab Popple.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
It is an honor to be before you. Regardless of what you say to my request, I want to tell you how much I appreciate what you do. You're fighting a battle for us in our communities. You're leading our schools to what I'm convinced is greatness. And I appreciate every one of you. And I'd be remiss with, and my wife would beat me if I didn't say that we appreciate everything y'all do in encouraging the staff to help us with the Backpack Buddies program. The Darien United Methodist Church is in its, I think, 8th year now with working with that. We wound up with over 100 kids last year, and we're working towards that list again. Thank you all very much. Now, tonight I'm here got my hat on as county attorney, and that's Patrick's house over there. I talk for him. He just sits in the corner. We found ourselves in a quandary at the county level. McIntosh County forever has held its meeting at the County Commission building, which was the courthouse where the County Commission office was for many years. The structure of county meetings and courthouse security has come up over and over again, and we've been warned and that we were facing potential issues with bringing cameras and that type of thing into our courtroom. As you know, the courtroom is governed by the sheriff of the county, and he is mandated to have a safety plan in effect, and he is insisting that cameras no longer be allowed in the courtroom because there are safety issues, and we acknowledge that. It's totally within the sheriff's purview to say that. So we're shopping for a place to have our county meetings. What we're looking for is one meeting room, one day a month. Any call meetings and that type of thing we'd be having it at our regular office in our conference room area, but it's simply not big enough for the regular monthly meetings. We have held our meetings here before. Richie, I don't remember how long ago that was, but it was in some rather contentious issues itself, about 2 or 3 years ago.
I would say about 2 years ago, yes.
We're dealing with the Board of Tax Assessors at that time. So we're looking for a place. We'd like to ask you for permission to conduct our once monthly meetings. They last around 2 hours max. We're reducing our schedule. We're trying to avoid the workshop model anymore and just have one meeting per month. We anticipate 2 hours at the most, and we certainly pay any nominal expenses, whatever concerns you have in that regard. We'd be glad to compensate you for it. But this meeting room is a good place to meet. We've used it before, and we appreciate your consideration in this matter. Thank you all very much.
What date do y'all meet?
We meet on the second Tuesday of every month.
Okay.
Second Tuesday.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes.
Mr. Popple, at one point you guys indicated there would be a sheriff's deputy here too.
We always have. We have that. We're mandated by our own policy to have security present all the time.
And is your meeting during the day?
It starts at 5 o'clock.
At 5, okay. So we would just need somebody to walk up if...
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion, as you guys know, surrounding the large county meeting we had over the zoning ordinance, and you know the sheriff is mandated by law. Ed, correct me if I'm wrong. I think all that started after the Fulton County judge was murdered that time in the courtroom by the defendant. That was the beginning of the
But our concern about courthouse security started back in the 90s when Jeff Arnold was shot.
That's
at
right.
the Liberty County Courthouse.
That's right.
And we've had armed security at the courthouse since that day, nonstop.
Yep.
So
And then that statutory system came along where and it's not just something the sheriff, just writes on a restaurant napkin. It has to be signed off by the chief superior court judge. He can make alterations. It's serious business, and the sheriff said that's it's time to find another place to meet. In essence, I think it's.
Well, and I'm in agreement with
Yep,
you.
that's right.
The use of the courtroom with all that equipment sitting out there, the court reporters' equipment and all sitting there, the television screens and all that kind of stuff. I get it. I wish it didn't get it, but I understand.
Right.
And we just need to find another location for those meetings.
And all that is handed down by the Attorney General, correct, to the sheriff, or?
No, the legislature passed that comprehensive
Okay.
scheme of things. I told somebody this one time. You think a sheriff has a ton of duties because they have a lot to do, but under their statute, there's only 10 duties that they have to do, and one of them is to provide that courthouse security plan.
Mm-hmm.
One of the 10 duties, and again, it has to be finally approved by the chief superior court judge, and it's not just something they can say, well, I changed my mind today. I mean, it's a security plan in place. And it's serious business, and it should be. I mean, it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I understand how that puts y'all in a pickle because now you're having to deny people coming in and with their phones and cameras and things like that, and that.
Well, the Attorney General called me the next day after the meeting and told us that the Attorney General's office made very clear that we had to address the situation. So the Open Meetings Act doesn't trump security, but it's something that we have to take into consideration anytime we have a meeting, just like y'all did.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank y'all so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Mr. Paul. Yes, sir.
Even you, Mr. Gregory.
Yes, sir. No worries.
Good night, y'all.
All right, thank
And
y'all.
in full disclosure, Patrick was prepared to present this tonight, but we had to add on the agenda to speak, so he said,
Well,
I'll
he can
pass
come on
it
up. Will.
All right.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you. Okay, item number 4, citizens address the board. Nobody's here. All right, number 5,
See,
approval
part
of,
of your audience left.
Yeah, this is kind of
all right, approval of our work session agenda. I don't know, I put this candy in my mouth and then when I gotta talk. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. McIver, second.
Second.
Mr. Hewitt. All those in favor? Okay, motion carries 5-0. All right, I'll turn it over to you, Dr. Williams.
All right. First up, we have Ms. McLean to talk to us about CTAE, so she can get DOE to approve her budget.
Well, it's that time. It's the Perkins 5 budget again. That's just a little explanation. Y'all seen that 100 times. I was including it. What the Perkins is, and it is just to
Make her differently.
to increase our CTAE programs and help with the workforce needs, program quality, those kind of things. Here's and I wanted to break it down for you. The Perkins 5 allotment. Here's our ag extended day, extended year, the extended day monies that is split between, the ag goes straight to diverger. The extended day is split between 3 teachers, the supervision, and then the Perkins Plus Reserve, and I'll explain what we use all that money for. And then our program improvement, we've got $18,010 this year. It's a little bit down from last year. That's based on the FTE counts. The extended day is to those teachers, it's to help them with their CTSOs and increasing the involvement of those kids in CTSOs. I will tell you that all of those CTSOs are thriving. All of them are. And we even added DECA this year. Mr. Collins is in charge of FCCLA and DECA, so he's pulling double duty this year with his CTSOs. The Perkins Plus Reserve Grant, we use that for our EOPAs, which is our end of pathway assessments, and we pay for our testing and the preparation for that. A little over I think it's $1,200 goes towards, the business program, and then the rest of it is for those EOPAs that we give those students after they've completed, those 3 courses. And then the Perkins Program Improvement, the majority of that goes towards actually the travel and the, pay and registrations and dues, for those teachers. We're using some of the money to buy some equipment for, ag, audio, video, and, culinary arts this year. And then I wanted to highlight some of the things that we are doing in CTAE. So, we do have 2 teachers, in McIntosh that have been invited to go to Connect, Glenn, the externship there. So we're using Ms. Stutler and Ms. Don, at the middle school. And what those teachers will do is they'll go over to Glenn County and they'll work with their teachers in Glenn County, and they'll go work in business for 3 days or 4 days. But there's a grant at the end of that, that the Chamber of Commerce is helping with, for those teachers. We also have last year we got the $50,000 Georgia Power grant, and we have got our hospitality and tourism program up and running. So what we're going to do with that is Mr. Collins is going to teach both of those pathways, marketing, or he's going to teach marketing, hospitality, and tourism 1 and 2, and then also teach the culinary arts. But the hospitality and tourism will eventually be our biggest program. And then we have 3 welding students that are receiving, that are going to be doing the accelerated diploma program, and all 3 of those students are welding, getting their 2 TCCs in welding. 2 of those are girls, and 1 is a boy.
All right.
So we're excited about that. So those are the 3 accelerated diploma students. 2 of those students are juniors, 1 is a senior. So we're excited about those. Last year we did have 1 student who, no, this is the first year we've had a student that's getting the accelerated diploma program. And if you're not familiar with that, that is the students, typically our students have to have 26 credits to graduate. These students only have to have 9 academic classes, and then they have to get the 2 TCCs or a diploma, complete a diploma program through a technical college. And that's all I got.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do you need us to vote on that tonight? I forgot to ask you that. Okay.
Please, and then I'll be out of your hair. I'll leave y'all alone.
So we need to have approval of her budget.
Okay. So under 1A, we'll have superintendent recommends approval of the CTAE Perkins budget. Have a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. McDonald, second.
Second.
Mr. Hewlett. All those in favor? Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Awesome.
Now you can submit that date to the state.
Good night.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Professional learning updates. I think I sent that out to everybody. I think you got that email when I sent that out to everybody, what we had done on Monday. It was a good day. We had lots going on. And then we just had some folks come back from GASIS. Do you want to share?
Good evening.
Mr. McNair and I, along with 4 school-level leaders, just returned from GASIS. It was a wonderful conference. We focused on leader credibility and scaffolding instruction. The highlight of the conference was the recognition of Todd Grant. They did receive their associate's level award by Dr. John Hattie himself, so that was very, very exciting. It was a wonderful conference, and thank you for letting us go.
All right. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for all the hard work it took to get you there.
Yes.
Next up is our ESSER update, which I just learned that we misspelled that, and Ms. Noble will need that corrected, so I will change that on the agenda. I didn't double check, sorry. Go ahead, Tammy.
Okay, we are required, while we have these ESSER ARP grants, to report to the state, report twice a year, usually in April and in October. So this is just letting you know that we're doing what we need to do to meet those requirements. So I attached two documents. The first one of them is the plan that we actually have to update and upload to the state. I'm not going to go over it. Y'all can review it. We post it on the website. So this is just our documentation that we have, reported to the public that is out there for them to look at. I did want to pull up this budget though, because they are at September 30th closed out the original grant, and then after we have until October 31st to do completion reports, and then whatever is left over will be carryover for us to extend that ESSER ARP out for this one more year. So this will be the last year that we have the ESSER funds. If you'll scroll to the very bottom of that, Ken, I just put some numbers at the bottom for you. So the total grant was $5.7 million, and as you can see there, through FY 22 and 23, we have spent $4.4 million of that. And so we will have around $1.3 million to budget when we get the carryover money. There may be some extra August and September expenditures to post, but it'll be really close to that $1.3 million, which is actually a little bit higher than when we planned in the original budget. Our original budget that you approved back in May, I estimated $1.1 million, so we'll have a little bit extra in there. I think the increased salary scales that you all updated for the parapros is probably going to eat up a lot of that, but so that's that.
Okay.
Are there any questions over any of that?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Well, I don't know that Ms. Franklin can answer it, but the carryover that's going into the 24-25 budget, or 23-24 budget?
This year.
Okay, the carryover. Now, what we're carrying over, is that for parapros and so forth now?
The ones that are working for us now.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, our minutes. If you'll look over the minutes and let Ms. Lane or Dr. Williams know if you find any discrepancies in it.
And then Tammy, financial reports.
Okay. So if you would turn to page 2, September 30th, period, expenditure, financial reports.
Oh, come back.
Go to page 2.
Come back down.
Yeah, went too far.
There you go.
That's okay.
We'll give you some grace.
A rookie mistake.
Okay, the general operating account, September 30th, we began the month with $1.49 million. We had receipts in of $2 million, which included $1 million from a transfer from the money market account. We had expenditures of $1.9 million, leaving us with a balance of $1.5 million at the end of September. Okay, revenue and expenses, page 30. Go to page 39, Ken. The next one. 39.
Which would actually be like page 4 on your side.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Go to like page 4.
Oh, yeah.
39 on the
I'm
document.
looking at the
Yeah.
page
Here,
numbers.
when she says just go to the next page.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, scroll down one more page. There we go. Okay, so September 30th period to date revenues of $1.3 million, which is 7.28% of our budgeted $17.87 million in the general fund. Expenditures, go down 2 more.
The next page, I guess.
Yes, there we go. Okay, period to date expenditures, $2.9 million is 15.75% of the budgeted $18.49 million of general fund expenditures. And then finally, changes in fund equity, go down 2 more pages, I think. There we go. So I just want to point out that I have closed the books for FY '23, and we actually closed out with a June 30th fund balance for the general fund at 3.9 million. I don't think I've ever seen that much at the end of the year. So our current fund balance at the end of September was 2.37 million.
Great.
Okay, school nutrition, go down 2 more pages. There we go.
Got it now, Ken.
You have got the hang of it now, Ken.
He got it.
September 30th school nutrition account. We began the month with 370,000. We've had receipts of 87,000. Expenditures, disbursements of 116,000, which leaves a balance of 342,000. Scroll down 1 more page. There we go. And the school nutrition fund balance at the end of September, $291,341. Okay, local projects. Next page. Can you scroll that down just a little bit?
I'm sorry, scroll down.
Yeah, to see the, yeah.
There you go.
So, and local projects, no activity this month, 1.8 million. Money market account.
Many pages.
Okay, the money market account, we began with just over 2 million. We had a transfer to the general operating account of 1 million, leaving 1,031,000 in the money market account. And finally, debt service. Okay, we began the month with 2.6 million. We had East Boston receipts of 148,000, leaving a balance of 2.7 million. The East Boston receipts for September were down 10.3% from September of last year. Don't know if that's an anomaly or if it's a sign of things to come. And that's all I have. Are there any questions on any of that?
I have, Madam Chair, if I may. I missed it if you were on that list today, but I don't know if you saw the email that went out that the state did approve our digest today. So the tax bills,
No, and I have not. I forgot to forward it to
tax
you. I got
bills
busy
will
with something
go out
else.
on time. So that's good news.
That's good news.
Good
Yep.
news. Yeah.
Okay.
When are tax bills slated to go out?
Well, I guess they'll have that, the November 20th date or due date or whenever. There's a certain number of days, or maybe December 20th. Sorry.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
two, but it's,
December.
yeah, that's right. So yeah, they'll go out on time, October, whenever.
All right. Any questions for Miss Tammy? All right. You're up.
All right, great evening, board. It's a pleasure to stand before you this evening. I want to start off by saying I'm really excited about the progress on the Oak Grove building. If you've driven by, you can see that they've smoothed off the roof where they've cut it off, and they've built the frame and started actually framing in where the new flashing is going to go. They've also started the awning that's going to come out from over those doors, so that they've taken off all the wood and measured for brand new storefront doors. So that project's coming along famously. It's really picking up some speed, and I'm really excited about how that's going to look. Just a reminder that they're going to try to match that white strip across the top and a reddish color stucco on the bottom with beautiful storefront doors, and we can really make that an entrance that we really can be proud of. The last step on that is going to be design the walkway that goes from the front steps, kind of winds down with a big circle for a flagpole, and right to that little parking lot area. So we're really looking forward to that. I really hope maybe, possibly, that we could work with Georgia Power again and get a few more oak trees on that side to add to the oak grove that we're really, we're really producing now. So we'll see if that can come to pass. If you notice at the high school, if you're behind the high school, near the greenhouse, if you'll take a look at those pine trees, you can see that there was a big die-off on those. We had those checked out, and unfortunately for us, it was pine beetles that got into them. And to stop the spread of pine beetles, you got to get ahead of them, and we've got to take care of that. We've got an estimate on coming in. The gentleman wanted to do price per tree, this, that, and the other, but we did some negotiating, and we've got a deal to cut out all the trees that need to be cut out and get ahead of the project. So it's approximately $13,000, and that's a lot of trees. There's over 120 of those trees. I know some of them weren't that big, but you still got to get in there, cut them out, and drag them out. And at $75 a tree, it was a lot more. So I think that I did some good negotiating on there. Saved us a little money. And I said, we don't want to count anything. We just want it done. And if you have to take them out more when you get in there, because there's some green trees that look green, but he's got to take an actual stethoscope and listen to them. You can hear those pine beetles in there. So he's going to check those green trees and make sure they're okay. I'm hoping that there'll still be a line of trees along the fence line that lived, and then we can still have that one little block. But we've got to get those out of there. They're right on a power line, and possibly one or two could hit that greenhouse. So we're actively hoping in the next couple of weeks to take care of that. I was really, really excited about going into the concession stand. This last game, the AC is working famously, so I'm really excited about that. I know it's the little things, but the comfort of those people working matters, and it will also be a benefit when it gets cold and there's some heat in there, so that's great. Dr. Woods, would you like to talk about my visit with Dr. Chandler? All right, I was really excited when the last meeting when Dr. Chandler came with the Communities Health Project, and that was an exciting presentation he made. The opportunity for McIntosh to have a clinic right here on in our campuses or on our property is a game changer for us. So Mr. Mixon and I met with him, and we walked around, and we were looking for ideal locations, and I got a real clear picture of what we're looking at, because I was a little concerned. We were all thought at one time Oak Grove, and we thought about the annex, and we had a lot of different areas. But after really talking to him about what this project entails, I got a better sense of how it's going to work. And let me just paint a picture for you. We have a nurse's station that's great, and we have a great nurse at Todd Grant. However, she's seeing at times over 20 kids a day. There's 600 and change kids at Todd Grant, and there's a lot of sick kids. And so putting that community or that health center in a place that really can meet the needs of our kids is so critical. So as an option, we took a look at that conference room that's right there when you walk into the building. I'm big on security, and I don't want people in our schools that we don't. So we've got a plan that if this was approved, that when you walk into that foyer in Todd Grant, you can make a left right there into that conference room. You never enter the school building. And then he made it real clear that this is not for the community. This program is for our teachers and our students. And so if you can imagine that a student is sick and he comes, the parents have to come and get him, take them to the doctor. They can come and go right over there to a doctor. It's only 2 people that are going to be in that office, a receptionist and a doctor, or a nurse's assistant, a CNA, I believe. And they're going to work hand in hand with our nurse. So we talked about moving it to another location, but realistically thinking it through, are we going to have kids that go from Todd Grant and we can walk them over all the way across campus over to the annex, or have the parents drive them over there? I don't believe it's going to be as much utilized as if the parents could be called. Yeah, they could see the doctor. Bam, they walk right over there, and they're in that doctor's office with the doctor. Telehealth is in full effect. We have an opportunity to make this something that's really useful and that will be utilized, but location is so key in this project. Anywhere else, it will be good. I know that he'll make it work. However, being here makes it seamless. And again, I took a lot of my anxiety or my anticipation about who's going to be in there? What is this really for? And he assured us that this is for our kids and for our teachers. And we're not looking to get people off the street. We're not even serving the parents. We're serving our kids and our teachers. And what it gives us is a super nurses center. I mean, this is the best one that it could happen. No other, he told you, there's no other school systems around. We're the first on the coast that's going to have a facility, an opportunity to provide health care to these kids right there on the site. So as we're working through this, I want you to consider that we can and we have other locations, but will it be used as much as right there on the site? I don't think so. The project is minimal. All they need is in that room, there's plenty of room to build off a reception area, another room for patients, and then a doorway that goes right into the nurses center. So again, no parents are going to even enter the building. They'll come through there, they'll sit in the reception area, their students will be seen in that area in combination with the nurse, and then they'll leave. So I hope that you'll consider that. Mr. Mixon and I went through. The building portion of it is very minimal. We can put up walls and doors. There's nothing that is hard at all in that capacity, that we can make it really nice and safe and still really hit the objective of this, a school-based health clinic that's on the school's campus that can really be utilized in a way that is, I say, cutting edge and leading the way in healthcare. And so please consider that as we move forward, that being a site.
Now,
How does I'm sorry, Sandy.
that's okay. On what level of medical personnel are they going to put in this building, in this room?
They'll have a CNA, and then no, I don't believe it's CNA. It's
It's a nurse practitioner.
Nurse practitioner.
That's right. Nurse practitioner and a nurse, and they said that they could help us fund some of our nurse because it would be part of the program. We couldn't really get that funding for taking some of the cost of our nurse if it wasn't right there on that site. So it's instead of one nurse there, we're talking about 3 people and high tech. We have access to doctors because that telehealth will be in use, that they can go and talk to an actual doctor. Another benefit is that medication can be brought right to that place. You don't have to go pick it up. They will deliver it right to the nurse's station. Just overall, like, we all were blown away by that presentation. I just think the last piece of this puzzle is choosing the right location to make it as successful as it can be.
And I think just number-wise, the elementary school makes more sense. 2 weeks ago on a Monday, she sent 10 children home first thing that morning that were sick and had fevers. The other nurses just don't see the number. I mean, of course not, because Todd Grant is so much larger, but.
Well, I know you said you and Mr. Mixon walked around and looked, and how does Mr. Mitchell feel about this, since that is his school? What was his...
I think that Mr. Mitchell would be tickled to have the facility. Was he concerned about having one less conference room? Yeah, that is an issue. However, he has a beautiful conference room that's right down the hallway from there. All the other schools have one conference room. We have a beautiful media center. We can adjust. I think the loss of the room is far less a cost than the benefits that we would gain from actually having the program there.
But we
Room, Todd Grant's built for what we have right now,
Right.
and that is an issue. But this isn't a classroom. It isn't something that we can't work around to give health care to our kids at the walk-in clinic.
I just
right
wanted to make
there.
sure he had some input. He wasn't like, we're going to put this in your school when that's just that.
I think that he's going to be tickled about it. If we can keep kids in school, the parent picks them up, and they have the opportunity to go right there, walk right over and see somebody that could get them back in the classroom faster.
And because of this potential workout system, potentially, how much are we going to benefit from the utilities and them paying for theirs to be in our building?
Well, I'm not sure the actual details of the grant. However, I do know that they said that they would cover all the cost of, or the cost of the construction. Dr. Williams is already working on some extra funding. And I think that the trade-off of having some of our nurses' salary taken care of is going to, take care of any of the electric costs. I think it will be minimal. We're only talking about a reception room and a visitor's room and some computers.
And this will just be open during this school day?
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
No after hours?
I think that at the beginning, when we were thinking about it at Oak Grove, when we were thinking about, I think I got in the weeds about it being a mental health and mental health people coming, but he redirected us and said, no, this is a clinic for sick people.
Yeah.
Are there going to be mental health resources that they are able to get people in touch with? Yes, but they're not counseling kids.
This is not a treatment facility for that.
Exactly. This is about someone being sick, seeing a doctor, and being able to get the medication they need or checked out and get back to school as quickly as possible.
I also like the fact that our staff can walk over there and or drive down from the other schools and be seen without having to take a day off to go to the doctor as well.
I mean,
That's a plus for us.
Sorry.
Any questions about that?
And they will police as far as it being for our students, our staff, no folks coming in.
Absolutely.
They have 3 other facilities that people
Yeah,
can visit.
Correct.
Okay.
And he mentioned that.
Yeah, but I want that to be because
Originally,
Well, I
it
think
was
he
one
let,
of these.
I think
see
when
what
he
you're
made the
you let
present,
one in and here they
Yeah.
come.
I think when he made the presentation, he made it clear that it was just for the schools
Yeah.
and the
And
staff.
we can reiterate that with him.
I think that's
We'd like to.
a critical piece. Again, I'm in the same boat with you.
I
That
think
was
it's
the
up,
concern.
it's in that.
After that walkthrough and
Yes.
our conversation, he cleared all that up, and it makes perfect sense for it to be right there. And again, parents of these kids, I just think, well, they'll take the kids home and,
Yeah.
but if they're right there and they have a doctor that's, at a cost that they can afford because it's subsidized, the more chance of them actually seeing somebody and getting the care that they need.
Cool.
All right.
You want to go ahead and talk about COVID while
I
you're
am.
standing there?
Well, I'm really happy that we've had all of our COVID people that were in quarantine return today, and at this time on our books we have 0 COVID cases. And what we do have is, I'll always say, is that general health safety guidelines are in effect. This is unfortunately the strep throat is going around and some of the stomach viruses. So we just want to continue to wash hands and do the things that we've done in the past for general health safety and guidelines of that nature.
And Mr. Massa just updated our protocols.
Cool.
Thank you.
One other thing, Mr.
Yes,
Massa, if you will, please. And I don't want you to think I'm putting you on the spot here. The football field.
Yes, I was so excited about the football field and the project, and when you look at it right now, you think, well, man, we paid a lot of money and it's not quite there where we want it to be. I just want you to know that even though it's not there this year, the base is there. The grass will grow in. It was a combination of a late start, and it wasn't because of the company's fault or our fault that there was a lot of rain, and we started 3 weeks later than we anticipated. Now you think 3 weeks, that's not much time, but the growing season is so short that it did have an impact on us. So although it doesn't look like we want it to this year, I can assure you that with the proper care and a full season of growing, that we will be where we need to be next year. I can't say more.
Well, I mean, don't we have soccer coming up that's going to be playing on it?
Well, that's going to be some decisions that we have to make moving forward. If it's something that Dr. Williams and the athletic director want to consider, that we can move over bleachers, we can set up the practice field, which can take an abuse, as you know, it gets practiced on every day, and still make it nice. I know Coach Warren's motto or theory is, every sport deserves their due place to play, and the stadium
Absolutely.
is the one.
Absolutely.
However, where we are in this situation, we might need to modify for this year. I don't want to speak over my.
No.
But we can accommodate a beautiful soccer season with plenty of seating and everything if that's the choice that's made. I don't suggest that we ryegrass it this year. I think that moving forward, we just let it do its thing, get through this winter, and then fertilize hard and stay off of it until that first game. And we'll be in a beautiful situation where we wish we were this year.
I think that's the main thing, stay off of it.
Well, I didn't see it in person.
We talked about that.
But I
already.
saw it on TV, and I would just like to say it looks horrible for the amount of money we spent, and I have seen people that have sodded places, and they're not big dead patches, and I'm very frustrated with the amount of money we spent, and that field looks like it does. And I know it's not your fault, and
I haven't been out there and walked it, but some of the patches, I mean, just from looking at it from the stands, I'm concerned whether the turf is there still. So, and I think getting off of it and staying off of it's the priority.
well, like I said, I didn't see it in person, but I
Two
saw it
more
on
regular
TV.
season games and then whatever the
awful.
playoffs and nothing else until
And that was
next
a
fall.
lot of money
Would be
when
my position.
we sat right here and questioned this same stuff, and we were told that it's, that this is all we need, is we need to put
Growing
it down.
season's over now.
Right, yeah.
There's no
and it's
growth
not going to
happening.
get any better.
No, not until April.
Right.
Not until April.
So
There'll be no
I'm
improvement.
very frustrated for that amount of money we spent for it to look like
Agree.
it does.
What we do have going for us is that there is, where it does look like the sod is wore really thin, around it is strong grass.
Good
that will
grass.
grow in. There's no doubt in my mind that we can grow that in, again, with the proper plan. And for soccer and any other events, we will do whatever it takes to make that right.
Make it a
and
successful season.
A, a good event for them, because again, I understand where Coach Warren is, and soccer is just as important as all the sports because they're all equal.
agree.
However, we have to look at our long-term
Long-term
plan
and
to see if we can get it going.
Even if we have to play at the middle school, because that's a gorgeous field. I mean, it looks good.
And how much did
It
it
does.
cost?
We'll be there. We will be back, and when it is in its glory, we're going to be proud and beat our chest.
And there was no guarantee or anything on this side?
There's no, never.
Can't guarantee that.
Can't
and
guarantee that.
Again, I think that
Just asking.
we're
Yeah.
going to recover from this, and we just have to fight
That's
ourselves.
what we hope.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Massa.
My pleasure.
So this year, the DOE has reinstated the health surveys that students, parents, staff are required to do, or not. We have to have 75% of our students and 75% of staff. Parents, you can't really control if they do it or not. So that opened today, but we are not doing those. Middle school and elementary school want to do it right before the December break, and the high school wants to do it when they return in January. So they already set their windows and be working on that. They're going to go ahead and open it up for parents because I know it'll take us a while to get some parent surveys. The MOU with Coastal Community Health. This is from McNair, and he was out today. This is for a $30,000 capacity grant that he has, and it will pay for the group and individual therapy sessions for our students for the remainder of the school year. So we can vote on that next week. It doesn't need to be voted on today.
Okay.
That's just an FYI. You want me to keep going?
Oh, personnel, oh, yeah. Executive session order, that E.
And then the Chamber's Education Committee will kick off their first meeting tomorrow. That's the McIntosh Grows with the guest speakers and the youth leadership program for the high school. And then for East Bloss, just a reminder that we cannot campaign for or against. We can state what the money's been spent on and how it will be used. And I gave you a sheet that thank you to Mr. Massa. He put that together. We took the old one and kind of added what we needed to add for this one. And then October 11th, which is next Wednesday at 5:30 at City Hall, there will be an election forum, I think is what it's called. But we will be there to discuss East Blossom.
And the chamber's going to
The
push
chamber.
this out for us.
And the chamber's going to help us. Yeah, they're going to.
It's gonna be at City Hall, Dr. Williams.
That election forum?
Yes, ma'am.
Next Wednesday, 5:30 at the City Hall. If some of you could be there, it'd be great to have board members talk about it as well. But Mr. Moss and I both will be there.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
And we have personnel? No personnel tonight?
Unless you want to talk about that one.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
All right, let's make a motion to go to executive session to discuss personnel.
So moved.
Ms. McDonald, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hewlett. All those in favor? Okay, motion carries 5-0. All right, we'll be back quickly. Okay, the board had adjourned to executive session to discuss personnel issues. Phew, can I have a motion to return to open session?
So moved.
Motion.
Okay, Ms. McDonald, second.
Second.
Mr. McIver. All those in favor? Okay, motion carries 5-0. All right, superintendent recommends approval for the McIntosh County Commissioners to use our facility
At
for their
Pine
meetings.
Street.
Pine Street facility.
And I will draw up an MOU for them.
I'll make
I'll
that
get with you
motion.
after. Okay, motion by
We'll
Mr.
write it for you.
Straggles,
Second.
second by Mr. Hewlett. Just so we know, the discussion on this is for them, we approve for them to use our facility on Pine Street for meetings, if they
So
wish to
choose-
do so. Okay, all those in favor? Okay, motion carries 5-0. All right, any board comments? I think everybody said more than anything.
Well, I do have one thing I want to say. I went out to the Keep McIntosh Beautiful open house Thursday afternoon that was out at the Southwest Saltwater Fishing Club, and they had asked Miss Nichols' middle school art class to do some recycling art for them, and it was phenomenal. I mean, they had the neatest. 2 minutes. They had the neatest open books that had been painted, and they had done recycled material, and there were trees coming up out of the books like roots, the literacy thing, and they were used as centerpieces, and lots and lots of works of art, and this phenomenal alligator that was made out of recycled stuff, and they were set. The room was full of people, and everybody was very impressed at our students, and they were all labeled and tagged, of course, but it was a wonderful evening, and we were very well represented, and I'm very proud of our art students and Miss Nichols for her talent.
Awesome.
Did our students keep the alligator and all that? Will they keep that?
Well,
Ms.
they have
Nichols?
the centerpieces and all that have been offered up for Keep McIntosh Beautiful to use as centerpieces, but the creators of the art are labeled on everything.
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
We got the fair coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Could they put them in as a...
Yeah, there's an exhibit at the fair. I guess they still do that.
Well, I know that Miss Nichols and the new current Keep McIntosh Beautiful director had a conversation, but I looked at all the displays and stuff, and they were
Cool.
very nice.
Awesome.
No comment.
I just want to say real quick, just as a reminder, Wednesday, Todd Grant's doing their pre-K week celebration, or they're asking for people to come and read to their students. I think it's going to be an all-day, Mr.
Yeah,
House,
but it
do you
starts
know?
at 9, right?
I think it's going to be, you can come whenever, all day, pretty much.
They're having
but-
a reception at 9.
Is it 9 or 10?
What day is it?
Okay.
Wednesday.
All
We're
right. and-
talking day after tomorrow on the.
Right, yeah. We got an email, I think, last week about it. Okay, and then just for, I can mention this again next Monday, but we do meet Monday, although it is Columbus Day. And next Thursday on the 12th is the homecoming parade,
It is.
just so as a reminder.
Next week is homecoming.
Yep. All right. Well, if nobody else has anything, we're adjourned.
Thursday?
Thursday night, next Thursday
Um,
night, the 12th.
If y'all would come to my car and get these signs, I would appreciate it, because that rattling's driving me crazy.